live on the YouTube.
Okay.
Thinking about it anyway. It's thinking.
Thinking about it.
I know, right?
Ah, the thing's all the way over there, and it's like, now it's recording. All right.
Alrighty. The ad is playing.
Ooh, we have an ad. Thanks.
Trying to see if we can hear. All right, we're live and the audio is working. So we are good to go.
What episode
Hello,
is
Barbara. Or 17, actually.
this? Wow.
It only took us like 6 of them to figure out how to go live without instant.
If we could only learn how to have a show, that would be great.
I know, right? There's
You'd
that.
only learn to not talk about dolls.
As you see 2 dolls in the background of your thing.
Yeah, let's see. Where are they? Over here.
And the patterns that I gave you.
Of course I got the dolls, and those are 2 of 80 something now. So
I thought you weren't saying that number out loud anymore.
well, my husband doesn't watch this channel.
This is true. I don't think this is his cup of tea.
This isn't about motorcycles, so I think I'm good.
Hi, Jan. We got a couple people on. I'm currently typing, so someone else has to talk because I'm currently
I figured we're just kind of waiting
writing
for crowds to get in.
No, you guys can chit-chat a bit.
I can't believe it is already almost fall, y'all.
I don't want to hear about that. I had to go.
I want to hear about
supply
it.
shopping. It was that fun.
School supply shopping.
I changed up my profile wall on my Facebook to fall picture, and I was like, where did the summer go? What?
Barbara says your hair is beautiful, Chantel.
Oh, thanks. I was just talking to Stephanie about how hard it is to get your hair to look decent when you're wearing headphones. Like, it was great for hiding the bad hair before, and now it's hiding the opportunity for decent hair. So
it's okay. It's all
good.
Mine was
I
like
didn't get the gray shirt memo, you guys.
Like this. Oh, well, this is my 2020 supporting my salon shirt. So this is what we were supposed to have look like over time. I definitely had the overgrown eyebrows and the gray hair.
I don't have potato mama on there.
I did not have the lash falling out issue or the long bangs, so I did not have that. But
nice.
But yes.
I was gonna say I got my string and story shirt. If you guys don't do string and story stuff, she's got great videos. Love
I know
Holly,
I need to
Holly Ann.
Do some goodies, but
yeah, we need a new Quilt Addicts Anonymous t-shirt.
I was actually
we should do a contest or a trade or a giveaway or something.
I was looking at Patchwork Threads did ours when we did them, I don't know, forever ago.
They're so soft.
They sent me 2 ones to check out in teal. I love my teal. And I was just looking at them when I was actually cleaning and trying to access my closet. How many hours a week do I sew? It varies. This next week, it's going to be almost nonstop.
That is a really good question.
I have a book deadline on Friday.
But what does varies mean? Like 3 hours a week, 30 hours a week? Like
some weeks,
you know what I mean?
It's just when I'm on with you guys. And
some doesn't mean you're not doing sewing related things. You're always doing something.
Yeah,
sewing.
I'm always thinking about stuff. Like during dinner, I looked up the size of a carry-on because I need to sew a panel into a carry-on for one of the projects. Which, by the way, I have a question for you guys on this. So I'm gonna make like a duffel bag for this, and the panel will cover like the main like outside part, and it'll be like continuous. For the pockets, it'll be like the panels on the side, it'll be different, like coordinating yardage, and then straps obviously will be different.
Okay.
But when it comes to putting it together, I have basically 2 options that I can do. I can do it where, you've got like I just quilt the outside and then the lining is attached to the zipper where you like sandwich it in between.
But it's not
And
quilted to the actual outside.
it's not quilted to the outside. If I do that, it means I'm going to need to sort of baste the quilted outside panel and the lining together along the sides and attach the side squares and then apply binding to the inside. Would you
It's
prefer
annoying,
that
but
as a construction method, which would then make zipper install a lot easier,
absolutely would.
or piecing the entire outside as one, piecing the entire inside as one, and then maybe having zipper install be more difficult?
Do we have the option of having it being a single quilted panel inside and outside with zipper with binding on the zipper?
I like my zipper. I like
Sorry.
I like the edge of my zipper to be hidden in between, like the lining on this side, with the finished edge, and the outside with the finish.
So what I kind of want though is I want like the zipper to be like a design element. I want you to see the zipper, but I want the panel to like butt up. So it's like panel.
So you
top
don't want
panel,
this,
bottom of panel. Yeah, I don't want that.
Where you have, yeah, I make a lot of bags. I did not make this one. This was strawberry quilt cake. Love her stuff. But she did. Basically, so I guess the construction thing is like not to have this on the outside. You want to have this sandwiched.
Yeah. So either
you could do binding on the inside.
I don't mind it not having binding. I don't mind it not having the binding and just being sandwiched, but I do like it sandwiched on both sides. I have made and I have bought than made bags because I have very few I've made where I did not sandwich the inside of that zipper in the lining and just put the outside and the lining together and then attach the zipper, and so then you got the little flappy part of the bottom of the zipper on the inside, and I absolutely hate that on my bags. I like that zipper to be sandwiched in between the two pieces of fabric.
Well, there would be top stitching along the sides, which would kind of keep it out of the way a little bit.
It would. That's just my
personally, I would be irritated to quilt two pieces and have one hidden on the inside that's completely quilted separately.
The other thing is I could quilt it with lining that I'm going to use on the back of it.
Yeah.
And then since I'm going to bind anyway going around it, it would just encase.
That's what I meant. Like make it a single, like, and use like a double layer of batting if you need to get that extra structure in there.
Yeah. I feel like though.
That's a hard one.
So I've done this before with like the by Annie's foam.
And it's by Annie's foam is really good, the soft and stable,
but it's very unmanageable when you're adding binding like that to a center or to going around with corners.
You almost have to cut out the extra.
It's like too hard.
Yeah, I have one of those bags sitting around here somewhere. It's a rainbow. Can anybody see it? Just kidding.
Everything's a rainbow in your room.
It's camouflage rainbow somewhere in here. You're looking at like the darkest part of the room because there's a black television. I've considered getting a frame television so that I have something pretty to look at.
Chantel, do you remember those Skittle commercials, a rainbow color?
Yeah, taste the rainbow.
I feel like Skittles threw up on your sewing room.
It did. I was standing over here earlier. I gotta show you guys this. This is really funny. I'm standing over here and I have my little stand all up and I was like, oh my God, this is like where I need to be if I'm going to film anything. Like it's like the happiest little corner of all time. Like I mentioned,
it is very happy.
A lot of rainbow. To be fair, I don't paint my walls colors, so we got that going for me. Did I ever show you guys this? I finished this up here. My my peg wall.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
It turned out really good. Very really cute. And super functional. It holds all my rulers and everything. And I got these signs years ago at a thrift store, secondhand store, and I'm pretty sure they were for some type of like play or comedy show where they'd hold them up and make the crowd say it. And I always thought that they were really funny because it's at my cutting table now. It says, "Oops, my goof," which is, where I make all the errors anyways. Oh, and you got Tim Gunn back there.
I want to know about the quilt
Make
that
it
was
work.
behind you in the corner.
Which one?
The one in your good corner. The quilt.
Oh, in my good corner. Which one?
Yeah.
I got all the good corners.
The one, the white one.
That one?
Yes.
That's the floating lanterns one with all the flying geese I was swearing at.
It
looks
beautiful.
Great. It's turning out
God.
awesome. I just don't want to do the long strips, so I'm putting it off. And it looks pretty there, so it lives there now.
That's
the other
funny.
one's a Stephanie one too.
Fantastic.
I'm glad I'm been inspired.
That's your well, look, it's free advertisement, friend.
It is pretty much.
Actually, a lot of those are from the same fabric designer. Now that I'm looking at it. They were both Tamara
You really
Kate.
like Tamara Kate.
I do.
You're
I
a fan.
really do. She needs to be so much bigger than she is. I hope she hears that.
A lot of it is honestly like how it's marketed.
Well, she did this really cool quilt this last time that was like a moth. I don't know if it was a foundation paper piecing thing. And
creativity
that was
is amazing. Yeah, she does.
It was really beautiful.
FPP for sure.
I feel like that's going to be, that's going to be the thing that takes her to the next. Oh, and you can see Marge up there. Well, it's not Marge. That's Wanda, my mask with Marge Simpson.
Julie, where did you say it said 2:30 a.m.? Did I mess that up somewhere? Apparently it says 2:30 a.m. somewhere.
Oh, well, it's probably on my little clock back there. Actually, this is 1:30, so no.
Still not quite exactly accurate.
Not quite right.
I don't know. Okay.
It might be back here, but it's mirrored, I think. So
maybe. I just found out that I do not have to cut anything for this backing, and I get to use up some fabric. So
yay!
I just have to press it.
What did
I've been
I actually want to go back to the question about how long
do we sew? If I feel like it's a good week, I'll be able to get down here a couple evenings. Maybe one, honestly, like one lately. And then Sundays, I like to just hang out down here because the kids' stuff is on the other side. They can play. I can do this stuff. We can all be together.
That's not long enough.
And that's quite lovely.
Awesome.
Not that
So you feel like
Sunday.
You feel like how long is that one period of time? Like 5 hours?
Oh, probably more like 8. I can get really like into it. And like
That's
Saturday
awesome.
nights are like my chill out night with my husband.
Sure, you get cleaning done. You make cleaning into date night. I love it.
Yeah. Well, and then so like sometimes I get like super hyper focused when I'm under the influence. And so
the other thing though, what do you consider sewing? Do you consider like everything sewing? Do you consider or just at the machine, or do you consider cutting, picking out your fabric?
No, I would consider
the machine. I'm never sewing.
I would consider like what I'm doing right now sewing because I'm prepping sewing at the moment.
Me too.
I'm prepping backing. In a little bit, I'm going to be prepping binding. You know, that's all
so I
part of the process.
Prepping. If I'm like working out a pattern or color picking or, quilt mathing.
Well, right. It's like the training for the marathon was part of the bigger effect of the marathon, right? Like you got to consider the pattern time and the time devoted to the craft in general. Yeah. I'm going to say if it's only the sewing machine time, then I don't sew apparently.
I would say over the summer, I would say for me, I probably in here at least 35, 40 hours that I'm working on my stuff over the summer. But I don't feel like it's been that case before that. Before the summer, I feel if I had to average it out, I would maybe say about 8 to 10 hours a week.
That's nice.
When it was my job to do
And
it.
job changes it. Job changes
Well,
it because
it does. But
tired.
even then, I didn't sew as much as you would think I would. I would have like this massive marathon whenever we got to station.
That's
And
true. You were doing the auxiliary stuff often.
then I would do maybe one other tutorial a month that would involve putting something together. And that was usually about it, except for a little while I had this thing going where every Sunday I would skedaddle out of my house and I would make doll clothes all afternoon. And that was really fun because it was
That's the
not work,
religion I need to pick up.
it was not work related at all. Like I got to just be creative. It didn't feel like work sewing because everything was work sewing
Well, that's true. Yeah.
at that point, right? It still is at the moment.
For
But
years.
yeah. But I don't know. It really varies. Like I go through phases and it also depends on like what the kids have going on. Because if I can bring things along with me and do stuff while I'm hanging out, I'm either gonna knit or now that Chantel's got me on EPP, I can do that. But
Yes, I have an EPP project to share, actually. Great segue.
yeah, she
Because
finished something this week.
I finished the thing.
You get us all on the EPP.
I did. I finished
We get to
my
credit you
big
for that.
my big wicked hex. Let's see, I gotta put it in front of my face, I think, for it to be happy.
That turned out
Is it
so cool.
happy?
It's so neat.
Is it happy yet? I can't
Yeah.
tell.
It can see. We can see it.
It wants to be in my face. There we go.
It's fabulous.
It turned out really, really fun.
It looks bigger than the picture you posted.
Well, now it's like, there you are. I found you.
Yeah.
My camera is really silly. It's like, where's the
mine does.
person? So occasionally it'll back up and it'll be like, those are the people over there. It'll think the dolls are the people. So yeah, it turned out really great. I'm really excited about it. And now I'm going to quilt the life out of it, or into it rather, which is
There you
super
go.
fun.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna hand quilt it or are you gonna do it on the machine?
No, I'm going to machine it and it's going to get every color of thread, and I'll do it at my sit down.
I love the
over
thread
here.
changes.
Yeah. Let's
Love
see
it.
if it's gonna follow me over here. I'm over here, machine. Doesn't care what I think. There's my sit down machine over there. A bargain I found on Marketplace that will always be a gift for the price I got it for.
Yeah.
Not quite the gift that the long arm was for the price I got it for. Whew.
Yeah, that was a deal.
That was the deal of the century.
I did some
But-
planning this week for the next cruise.
Ooh,
That was fun.
Tell us about it.
So on my to-do all week that I haven't done, is film crap. I have 4 videos behind me, all prepped and ready to go for tutorials for the book. And I just need to film. And I got to a point where I was like good to go. And then I realized I had 0 laundry. No, like not a single clean top.
I heard about this adventure. It's
So
cute.
my husband does like the day-to-day laundry, which is great. I really appreciate it. I'm not kind of a woman who's going to like complain about a household task that's done by someone else because it's done. But about every 3 months or so, I get to a point where I literally have no shirts or underwear left because my husband tends to go through and like the way I was trained to do laundry was you separate it into piles, whites, colors, and darks, and then you wash it all and you put it all away. And that's not how my husband does it. He makes sure he has his clothes for work. He makes sure the kids have their clothes. He usually makes sure I have some underpants. But that is really about it. And so every once in a while, I just totally run out of clothes because they're way at the bottom of the wash and they haven't been prioritized for a while. So
Because you're not the priority of laundry.
No. So I start doing laundry at that point, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not filming today. And then today I had no excuse for a good reason why I didn't film, but I didn't either. I did other work that I had to do to like get paid. But anyway, So I've got all this just ready to go for the book. It literally is going to take me like maybe an hour project to finish up each one once it's done. But my kids are leaving tomorrow to go to grandma's for like most of the week. So this is kind of what I'm
So are you
planning on
allowed to
doing.
give us any type of
Like cruise stuff.
spoilers?
I totally forgot. Spoilers for the book or the cruise?
No, for the cruise.
Yeah. Like
Oh yeah.
your,
So
your videos.
I was trying. I
for your
totally got
tutorials.
for the tutorials. Yeah, I can do that. So basically, it is a bunch of patterns that you can make from panels. And some of them are things you would expect, like a quilt. And I have basically broken down the measurements of this is what you need to trim the panel to in order to get a 2 by 4 foot center. And then you can put any 12-inch block around it that you want. So you really can have some fun with it from there. So I've done that for this one here is going to be a horizontal panel. And I don't think this is actually a panel, but it totally works as one. And then this one is a vertical panel.
That's a wetter, right?
Which one? This one is a panel. This one
panel.
you've seen. This one is that the like star one, celestial. And then this one's horizontal. And then with the advent of digital printing, 36-inch wide panels are becoming a thing because you're no longer limited by the 24-inch wide screen for your repeat. So I also have one for that kind of panel. So, and that one has like a 6-inch block going around it. So again, it's still math of here's how you add the borders to it, but then it fits in a common sized block from there. So there's ones like that. And then I also have this one I turned in with the first half of the deadline. This was a panel that had a bunch of different square images in it. And I cut it down.
I love that.
To create blocks. And they kind of alternate where they're going.
That,
yeah. And they're absolutely fun. So that's more of an unexpected way to do it.
I have cats that I'm going to be doing that one in, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And my daughter, if you look at Unicorn Love on our website, that one's going to be in the book. And that's one that she designed. That's another one where like you find that square panel and you can do
that one.
You might. And then
I got it for Hazel to do.
No, she could definitely do it. From there, it's all other types of projects. Actually, I can grab one. Placemats, which is what you would expect, both like with pieced and then also the no piecing placemats, where you can just use like a fusible fleece and decor bond to make it nice and stiff, because a lot of places are coming out with panels that are just already ready to go and you don't have to piece or do anything with it. This was a panel.
Cute.
And cut it up, added a little piecing to it, did some
piecing on the back. Is that like a Laurel Birch?
It's all Laurel Birch. Say, that looks like Laura Birch.
And this is actually a very rectangle panel, but we just decide which part we want to use for that center.
Right. You're not constricted to the size of the panel. You don't have to what you want to cut it to if it'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one with the stars, can we still use a rectangle with that, or does it have to be square?
Which one?
The one before you showed the pillows.
Oh, that one.
The owls. The owls.
The owls, that one is square. You could just cut it to be square.
I have a Laura Birch cat panel that just.
Oh, you're breaking up or my internet's not good.
No, it's breaking up.
You have Laurel Birch cat panels. Is all I got from that.
Me too. It cut out.
I have some Laura.
There you are.
Me?
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
You're fine.
You're good now.
Okay. I have some Laura Birch fantastic but they are slightly rectangle. I feel like they're like maybe 9 by 10 or 8 by 10.
I think I know which one you're talking about. You would be able to trim it up for that one. That one's small enough to where you'd be able to do it.
Okay.
Or like,
okay.
For example, another
that.
one I did. Do I have the finished one here? I might. So here's another one where I got the panel and I thought that this was going to be square and I was going to be able to use like 4 of these as like my square center.
That's
but
really
then
cute.
when it came in, it's actually longer this way than it is this way. So if I were to just cut it straight, it would look really goofy. So what I ended up doing was fussy cutting all of those because I needed a 10.5 inch for that one. That's a really common size square that you get. I cut them all into, fussy cut them into 5.5 inch so you can see the back from here and piece them together. So I essentially created my own panel for the center. So, there's so many things where like you see this idea, it's really cool, but then it just is like, I don't know.
You can
it doesn't
transform
fit,
it in a
right?
different way.
Like this one, I thought I needed a 10.5 inch square. It would have it from the width. I did not have it from the height. And so instead of saying, oh crap, I need to find more going, then we have to do this. Who are you guys? Where's people talking about?
Oh,
Tell the others to leave your room.
It's from Gwendolyn.
Oh,
Gwendolyn, we can hear the voices in the background, and I think it's
it's
probably your
just your husband
watching your little guy.
It's all good. People were concerned.
I was muted.
People were concerned for you, but it's all good, guys.
I think I'm gonna restart real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
We're getting totally storms, fine. So
yeah, that would make sense. You never have problems, so
I'll be back.
It's all good. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm going to go through it. And there's not just going to be tutorials for just like the projects. In the front of book stuff where it kind of goes over, how I buy fabric for this. Because like you see a panel that you really like, but then what do I need to go with that? Or how am I fussy cutting these? Because there's going to be like 3 different ways that I fussy cut stuff. And so we'll combine bits from the other videos so people can get an idea, because you're not always going to find exactly what you need in order to make it work.
No, I have some panels over here I was going to pick your brain about actually tomorrow, because it's the kind of panel that it's not all the pieces are the same size. And I think the purpose of the panels are to be used for different things, but they go together so well. So the idea of piecing a couple pieces together to make it its own block, essentially its own panel piece, makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. I think you should also tell her about the quilt that you did in that t-shirt quilt book, where you were able to use the log cabin to kind of make your blocks the right size.
So that's another thing I'm going to be doing with this one. I've decided I am just going to do, this part is not going to be done by my deadline. And I let my editor know this like 2 weeks ago. So I'm doing a class, one that I'm calling art class. And this is the one where I showed you guys like the potato mommy drawing.
Potato mama.
Yes. And it's like just a stick figure that has like a giant tummy with a stomach and boobs on it. That's potato mommy. But that's where my daughter was like last year.
So endearing.
And now when I like look at her artwork now, she's come so far in what she's able to do. So I decided I'm just going to do her drawings for it. And so I'm going to design it to where like you have an 8.5 by 11 scrap of paper, and then you're just going to add some borders on it to turn it into a 12.5 inch block unfinished. And then, but there's other sizes that might fit in there. And like the potato mommy drawing is very small. And so, we can add a few things if you have like a smaller, like a 5 by 7 piece of paper. So you can still use it, have some fun with it, get your stash, bust it out. But that's kind of like, the nut. There's bags in there too. There's going to be just a shopping bag. I've got some Allison glass fabric to use with that. A Halloween treat bag because they make so many cute panels for that kind of
Yes,
thing. And
that's the best. We're
obviously
Halloween fans, Gwendolyn and I. Even though we're
I
not
know.
really Halloween fans, we're now Halloween fans.
That's
Well,
right.
and
I
it's
didn't know I
supposed
was a Halloween fan until
it's
I
supposed
started
to
that
be
quilt for my
like
sister-in-law.
we need treat bags.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes,
yes.
it's better.
Okay. I think with the storms, I had turned on data and turned off the Wi-Fi on my pad. So he had me turn my Wi-Fi back on. He said that should fix it because Wi-Fi was coming up fine. But yeah, I never have problems, so I don't know why I did that. But it's good. I want to show you, Stephanie, a panel I found on Etsy that I'm going to order. So it'll take me a second to find it. But I want to. You said that about I was trying to figure out what am I going to use this panel for. Oh my gosh, it would make the cutest trick-or-treat bag.
Yeah. Well, and I did that before I ever took my child trick-or-treating, and I realized very quickly that the size trick-or-treat bag I made the first time around was not large enough for actual trick-or-treating adventures.
They need the duffel bag,
basically, yeah. I'm gonna make it where there's no like box corners or anything because I want it to just be like so easy. Like we'll just put some fusible fleece on it and call it a day so that it's comfy, like when it bangs against you and is full. But like
right, so nobody's getting hurt with the bag.
Yeah. Well, and some of the projects I'm making a couple of times. So like this is an example of one of the placemats that just the panels just look like this. They just come already ready to go. Yep, it's ready to go. You just trim it up. This one I'm going to back with a coordinating fabric. There's another company that has had like a placemat of the month. And so this is the same size.
I don't use placemats, but apparently I need to.
Apparently do. As like this one for Valentine's Day. And so I'm going to make these double-sided. So that way I don't have less crap in my linen closet and I can just flip them over when the season changes. So
make sure you use like, friendly holidays. So you got like Valentine's Day next to St. Patrick's Day.
I'm not that smart. I'm doing this literally just for the book situation.
You're like, I'm on a deadline.
I'm on a deadline. This is what I ordered. This is what we're going with.
This is what we're doing. Actually, what is everybody working on tonight? What are you working on tonight, Gwendolyn?
Well, I was gonna show you guys all the quilt blocks I got done. I'm working on a quilt along for one of the groups I'm in. It's called Joy Filled by Corey Yoder. And we're doing it, and I've done about 4 or 5 blocks. However, I have little Mr. T with me this evening, and he knocked over all of my fabric. So currently I am folding it.
Oh no.
Because I had this whole table of fabric with my squares and stuff. Oops. So as soon as I fold all that up and I get to the blocks, I'll be able to show you. But I have this picture up, so I am going to show it to you of this panel. It is so cute.
While she's pulling that up, I'm in the middle of making an elephant. So here's the side of my elephant.
Of course, with Tula Pink's elephant fabric.
Of course it is.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, that is really cute.
With that,
excuse me.
Is that 24 inches wide?
You can pick it in whatever size you want. And they have like
what do you mean?
Like the Etsy shop you pick, that they print it on demand.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so
I'm like, what do you mean? That's not a thing.
I know there's like 10 different sizes, and the biggest one was like 18-inch. And I kept thinking, wow, I just don't know what I would do with it that big. But what for a tote bag, what do you think?
How big is the creative that one tote bag?
How big is the width? Like what are the dimensions? Like we can go up.
Is it 18 square or is it 18
No,
by
I think it
14?
was like 18 by something. Let me look real quick. Hold on.
Well, while you're looking, there also is some folks here. Happy Bergmeyer is sewing foundation paper piece 6-inch finished pineapple blocks and 30 fabric. So that is.
I can't wait to see that.
if you are like not insane by the time you're done with that project, that would be
You're
amazing.
never gonna want to
You're
see
my
a
hero.
pineapple again.
You're my hero if you could do that.
Okay.
She also has a lighthouse panel that she's cut out to be alternating blocks. So yeah, there's so many different ways you can use them, but not everybody like sometimes people just need permission to like
They need the, yeah,
do the thing.
I,
Like, yes, you can cut this up. It's okay.
that's true. That's very true. We like a
Okay.
pattern. We're quilters. We're used to rules. It's like how I was
Exactly.
trying to do improv.
So
I
the
needed
sizes.
permission to do something
Oh yeah,
different.
I'm supposed to bring my purple fabric tomorrow.
Oh, I cut it off.
Oh yeah, I don't have purple. I
Okay,
really
so
don't have purple.
the sizes they
Exciting.
have available, they have 7 sizes. So
Okay.
the smallest is 6 by 4.5. Then there's an 8 by 6, a 10 by 7.5, a 12 by 9, a 14 by 10.5. I was thinking about, well, the 16 by 12. I was thinking about getting the 18 by 13.5. And
Yeah,
then
it was pretty close.
they do have a 20 by 15 though. I didn't see
So
that.
if you did the 12
Uh-huh.
or the 14, I think you might be able to
The
do a
14 by
tourist
10?
tote with that.
That's what I
Okay.
was wondering.
Okay, so it's
Which is
14
the
by
best tote.
10.5.
It is definitely the best tote. All right,
Okay.
we have Faith Moon trying to enter the chat. Faith, you have to answer a question on the YouTube chat in order to be admitted into the Zoom because we just need to know that you are for sure a quilter. So let me think. We've asked a lot of good ones.
What size seam is the favorite of all quilters?
There we go.
That's a good one.
Answer questions.
But what
Yep.
there or the second favorite for EPPers.
Oh, that one's too
That's a little
challenging.
more difficult.
That is like a specific question.
Yes, but if you quilt, you know.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's true. I have to turn everybody into an English paper piecer before we can be guaranteed a bat.
Yes.
Which
True enough,
actually,
true enough.
my children are all going to be in some sort of programming for 3 days a week coming up soon. And so I told Stephanie, I'm getting my stuff ready. I'm gonna probably start a channel on EPP stuff. There's just
You
not
should do
enough
it.
information out there.
Nice.
There's not. It's you can find it. You can find
You
Tulip
can.
Pink's coverage of what to do with
I feel like
English
there's a
paper
lot
piecing.
of like overseas.
Grandma D, is it you
Yes.
trying to enter the chat?
Are you Faith Moon? Moon Faith? Sounds like a My Little Pony.
Because if you're not trying to enter the chat, Grandma D, we're going to have to ask another question.
But you are right.
You are correct. But yeah, we're going to have to ask another question here.
Now I want to see if Grandma Dean knows the answer to what is the favorite seam allowance of English paper piecing? Because we need more people knowing those answers. I've decided my ears will be the polka dot with the stripes on the back. I was going to ask, but then I just kind of made the decision on accident by
went with
sewing.
it.
I did.
No, that's fine. It's all good.
Oh, Grandma Dee's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. That's okay. Most of the time we don't know what's going on.
That's all right. So Grandma D, what we do is when someone tries to enter the Zoom waiting room, we ask them a quilting question because we need to know for sure that they're a quilter because sometimes there are nefarious folks on here who are trying to enter and show us things we would rather not see.
But Grandma D is also correct on her other answer.
She is. Okay.
Oh, very good.
We're proud of you anyway.
Way to go.
We're going to say name 3 pre-cut fabric types.
And this is for Faith, right?
This is
is
for
Faith still trying to enter?
only. Yes. This is for Faith only.
So nobody else answer.
No one else answer.
The person.
You have to name 3 pre-cut fabric types.
We know that if you're actually here, you guys know. You guys know.
And if it's close, like if you get 2 of the 3, Like
I
we're
think
gonna be okay.
We're
sometimes
family.
too that people like they find you on Zoom and they're not watching you on YouTube. And so it's also they don't know that you're asking a question. And so they're sitting there waiting to get in. I
That's
think
okay.
a lot of nefarious people do that as well. Okay, this is one of my blocks. You guys want to
Perhaps.
see it?
So, for you that don't know, yeah, we find a few folks that just, try to come onto these to do not quilt related activities. And so they're just bored. It's a bad weekend for them. That is beautiful.
Ooh, that's very fun.
I have an EPP like
You see
thing that's very similar to that. That is gorgeous.
the unicorns? And then the
That's really
Ruby
pretty.
Star with the little kitties.
It's
My
hard to see
husband
the
goes-
details.
Well, here, let me put the.
And I think your camera's like mine. It's really
It is.
interested in.
Is it better? Can you see?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
And there goes.
And then it fell off.
There goes the top row. But my husband goes the red. He goes, that looks like a tie. And I laughed and I go, it does, but it looks so good. So that is one of the blocks. This is really weird. So what I did with this, we talked about this a little bit last week. I'm kind of going outside of my own style, trying to challenge myself to not plan ahead, to grab, and not necessarily scraps. Some of the stuff's from my scraps, but some of it's just from my stash. Everything has to come from my stash. I can't be
so those are your parameters. You've made a few parameters, but roughly
it has to come from my
willy-nilly.
stash. It has to come from my scraps, and I'm not allowed to plan each block out. But I have to do each block individually. So not like the whole quilt. So like when I'm working on that one block unit, then I pick what I'm going to do. I do that individually. I can look at the other ones to kind of coordinate, of course, but not like do everything together and lay it out and plan it or whatever. So I'm trying to be more improv, more off the cuff, which it's like a really big struggle for me to do that. So that's where I'm at with this. So here's the other ones that I've completed. I'm just going to put them against my board because the light shows it.
I'll interrupt with my elephant for a second. He's got ears.
Oh,
and now we'll see your block. Sorry, your block is gorgeous. Mine is an elephant. So. That's beautiful.
And I used you have
a real eye for color.
I have been working on it, and this is something that my husband's fantastic at because he is an old school graphic designer. So he went to art school.
Well, at least you married the right one.
Right. So he went to art school. He graduated from art school with graphic design degree back in the 90s. And so he's not a graphic designer of today. Today's graphic designer is completely different. And so back then you really had to hone your color skills. You had to know because even though you used the Adobe suite and you used Photoshop and you used all that, it was different. The technology today is different. The computer will do a lot of the color work for you. And so over the years, he has taught me and trained me. I did not think I was that good. I will tell you, 6 months ago, if you would have asked me about color theory and color stuff, I would be like, oh, I lean on him for all of that advice, right? And I was buying the color wheels and I have the color cubes from, what is it? I can't think of her name. I think it's Sarah something.
I know what you're talking about, though. They're pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I've have to consider them just for the decor.
Right. And the cards, the flashcards, I play with them with Theron and stuff. And, so 6 months ago, it would have been different. But since then, I've really been independently doing it. And instead of leaning on him for my initial picks and stuff, I have been independently doing it myself and then leaning on him at the fine tuning stage, like once I've narrowed it down and I kind of know where I'm going with stuff. And less I'm leaning on him and he'll walk by and he'll go, wow, you did a really great job. So that's like a huge compliment for me that you said that, Chantel, is what I'm saying. That's a long way of me saying Thank you. Because
You've
I feel
been
like this,
working on it.
yeah, I
I
feel like it's
love
a
it.
journey, right?
But I mean, I went to design school too in 2008. Things
Right.
were different. Whole courses and understanding and being able to talk about color. It's a different animal these
For
days.
sure.
I
For
don't know
sure.
how to do it.
So, yeah, I'm really excited how this is turning out, for sure. And originally I thought, oh, I was just going to do red, white, and blue, but then my reds were more in the wine cherry color. And so I
like the way that turned out.
incorporating some pinks. Here's the next block, which is kind of simple.
Nice. But I bet you with everything else, it really pulls it all together.
Right. So when I lay them next to each other, they look, I mean, I think they look nice together. And I guess really that's all that matters, right? Is that we like our own stuff. I mean, it's always fun to get other people's kudos, but at the end of the day, you have to love what you do, right?
Well, and you have to enjoy what you're sewing. Like, otherwise you just made work for yourself.
The lesson I learned on one of the really big quilts I did at the beginning that I meant to be scrappy was that you really need either the same background for everything or backgrounds that are very much reading the same from a distance. Otherwise, it doesn't do what you want it to do.
Catherine on YouTube says that your blocks are fabulous. Gwendolyn.
Thank you, Catherine.
I don't know.
Did you see that one, Chantel, with the?
Yes, actually, I did first. I want to show you a pattern. I have it down here, actually.
I love
it. Reminds me so much of that. And now I just feel like I need to get it out. Where are you?
This little gem like block color that I put in. I just thought this fabric was really cool. This blender line. I loved that. It was almost like
it's reminding me. So I bought this pattern. I loved the picture. And your stuff is reminding me of this EPP pattern.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. I love that.
This is from let's see, Brimfield Awakening. So this is an EPP pattern.
Oh, and I'm gonna have to look that up and get that.
Yeah, isn't it pretty? The problem with their patterns is that even if you buy just the block, you have to buy the pattern, the pieces, and if you want the acrylics, but it's hard to do sometimes with like some of these, it's hard to do without the acrylics.
How big is that one?
This is just a block.
So it's just a regular.
So this is not very large at all. Let's see. The biggest piece in here is this big.
So pretty, like on a.
So they have it set up
table, not a placemat, but like a centerpiece on a table.
Yeah, they have it set up where you can do multiple blocks, or you can do a block, or do 2 blocks. Or my personal preference would be to draft continually out because I love a medallion more than anything.
Who is that again?
It's Brimfield Awakening. They have wonderful English paper piecing stuff. Those women, it's run by 2 women, and they really, really know their stuff. Yeah, they really know their stuff.
Well, as Stephanie was saying, my backgrounds are all different. I mean, I have the dark and then I have the light.
But it all speaks together.
Well, they're not gonna read all the same color, but
yeah. It depends too on how you do it. Like if you add you just need like a place for the eye to rest. So like
if you have a sashing.
Yeah, like a common sashing is perfect for that.
I hate sashing. I love sashing, but I hate it.
And this one, I feel like I showed this one last.
See what I mean? It looks like they're like brother and sister.
Oh, we found a hole.
The one you had up there and this one.
Oh yeah. Well, I wonder if I could use that and replace one of the blocks in the center.
Ooh.
Because some of these blocks are really large.
They are large. I don't know how this ends up being. The funny thing is that the pattern is sold separately. I got this at QuiltCon. They were out of the pattern, but everything was so beautiful. I went ahead and bought the papers and the acrylics and all of that stuff. But
maybe
you
just
got to
forget
support
to
the
go
business.
online and buy the rest?
I'm sure I could figure out the pattern. I've been doing this for a while, but support the business.
You want to support
I will
them?
buy the
Yeah,
pattern.
for
And
sure.
so I'm going to buy the pattern. I just haven't actually got to the project yet. It's in the English paper piecing pile because I don't have,
Which is growing.
I should have a cabinet for this at this point, but you know, whatever.
A dresser. You need a dresser.
I need a separate room for it. It's going to end up probably being the entirety of the underneath of the long arm, I'm going to guess, eventually. But it doesn't take that many tools to do EPP, right? Like once you have, you know, fabric, you need some papers and
yeah, it's not so bad.
You know,
it's very portable.
It's very portable,
which is what I
and you
appreciate.
can start very pourable. You can start with hardly anything.
All right, so I want to show you this last block, and because I used my scraps for the red is scraps, I ran out. I didn't run out. I thought that my scrap pieces, my scrap strips were bigger than what I needed. I needed 2-inch scrap strips, and I only had 1.5-inch scrap strips. So I'm trying to figure out what to do around the center for this block, because remember my parameter is I'm not allowed to order anything, and I'm debating on finding this red, which is a Robert Kaufman, because I've already looked it up and I've already found it.
I was gonna say, what is it? I might have it.
Okay.
So I feel like if you're buying to finish, I feel like that doesn't count.
Buying to finish doesn't count.
Most people buy to finish, even those who are on fabric.
So it's when I did it, I wanted fabric to put the red here, right? And it's this red. It's this red.
Oh, but this is an opportunity. You can do something different right there.
Okay, what? Because I have tried so many things, and I keep going back to the red, which is why
I do too. But do you have
more
like
of that
a dark
purple
floral or something? Yeah, or the purple. That could be fun.
Wouldn't the purple make it too dark though?
I don't know. I think it could be. You have one block upside down, do you? Or am I seeing things funny?
Let me look.
Okay. Grandma D is in there.
I have it backwards. Sorry.
Grandma D, are you Annette?
Yes, that's better.
I have a swatch of the purple. Let me put it in there and see.
Just try it. Maybe because, you know, it was part of the rule. I mean, we can break the rule if we need to. I feel like there has to be like a dark, like Anna,
I don't know,
Marie Horner or something that goes in there. I swear.
It's like a blue, purple. It's kind of like variegated, but it's dark variegated.
It's really pretty.
It's gorgeous. This is a in the beginning fabric. And when I pulled it out of my stash, and I was like, geez, I didn't even know I had this. This is fantastic. I will use this in so many things. Okay, let me
Grandma said yes. I like calling her grandma.
I still want you to answer here just because we've had some interesting folks on here. So just go ahead and answer it in the YouTube comments. And then I'll know for sure you are who you are.
Okay, my hand's gonna be in it to show you, to preview it. Can you still?
Oh, there we go. Oh, I love it.
That looks gorgeous.
You like it with the blue instead of the red?
I do. Because there's so much of that red being pulled into the fabric in the middle anyways.
All right, Annette is coming in.
It reads really good here. Yay, okay. We have a visitor.
Okay, I'm going to do it then.
Why not?
I do keep my hand on the trigger finger now, just in case.
We've learned.
Yes, we have learned. Yay, you're actually a quilter. Good deal.
We've learned the hard way.
But how are you? Welcome.
All right.
You can unmute if you want and chat with us.
Or you could just chill. That's cool too.
That is totally cool.
Annette, is your name the same on YouTube as on your Zoom?
No, she is Annette in the Zoom and Grandma D in YouTube.
So I guess we should ask, what do you prefer?
Well, I write them both down so that way Stephanie knows.
We're mostly keeping
Right.
track so we know who's been pre-approved.
Yeah. That way you don't have to go through the screening process next time.
Yeah.
What did I do? Oh, I didn't do anything wrong yet. Okay, good.
Faith, if you're still trying to get in, you're in the waiting room. Over on YouTube, you can answer the question, which is to name 3 pre-cut fabric types.
Next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I unmuted. Can you hear me?
I can
We
hear you, but
can.
you need to mute the
If you're
YouTube
still trying to
or
get
we're
in-
going to be in echo.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. This is America's border czar, and she's failed us.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I unmuted.
Okay. Oops, I muted you by accident.
We're not
Gwendolyn
perfect
is
at
on
this either.
mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. Okay.
So now
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I know.
Annette,
that I'm
you
done
can
with
go ahead and unmute as soon as you mute the YouTube.
Yeah.
So there's a delay.
Okay, so
Or
I'm
mute.
unmuted.
There
Okay.
we go.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no, we
But-
can still hear you, YouTube.
All you have to do in that is go over to YouTube and mute YouTube, but you can
Or
keep
close it.
Zoom unmuted. Yeah, you can close it too. I'm going to mute you now, and when you get it figured out, come back on. Everyone, the first time they get on, has to figure out
Yeah.
that
We
situation.
did it too.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
You have to make sure
We
it's
had
like
no idea what we were doing.
you have to
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
it's muted on your device and on the TV, like on both. Cause like I, have it up on the TV, but then also on my device, whatever I'm on. So you have to make sure to do both of them. But now that I'm done with the big blocks of that pattern of joy filled, I'm onto the smaller blocks, which I find has been more challenging for me to pick from, the grouping here of fabrics that I pulled from my stash and my stuff, because most of them I'm limited to only like 2 fabrics if I want the block to resemble the way that she designed it, right? Where some of the bigger blocks, I mixed them up. I didn't, like, if she had blue or a dark all in one spot, maybe I used 2 different fabrics, in that placement instead of just the one.
It's scrappy technically, but it's reading correctly, and that's how it's going to end up looking cohesive in the end.
So do you think, even though the smaller blocks only be using 2 fabrics, do you think it will still lean into that scrappy vibe that I'm going for?
I think so. I think that the other we're getting a whole bunch of
You've got to have all the sound off in the room besides the Zoom before you come on, Annette. So like if a
I just
TV's
double
on,
checked mine to make sure it wasn't me.
yeah, if a
I wanted to make
TV's
sure, too.
on, we'll hear that. If you have something playing in another browser window, we'll hear that. So the sound has to be off of all the other devices. And then you're good to go.
If you're using an app on your device, make sure that app that and even if you can't get your sound off, you can pause, on YouTube, or you can turn your volume down.
You also don't have to continue to have YouTube open unless you want to use the chat.
True.
We keep
Okay.
it open, but for the most part, actually, I don't normally, because I'm the one most likely to mess it up.
I hardly ever look at the chat because I know Stephanie's always reading the chat.
I keep an eye on the chat.
I figure Stephanie does so much of it that it's a good
Exactly.
idea for me to help a little bit.
It's all
Plus,
good.
I'm trying to I'm about to sew an elephant's head on its butt if I'm not careful.
You need to focus there.
My
You
list,
cannot do that.
my list keeping skills is my help.
That
Thank
is very
God.
helpful.
We're
sure.
so thankful for that. I'm gonna stop my video for a second because I gotta run upstairs and get I was working on the coffin swap, which Gwendolyn and I have been doing together.
Show
And-
them off. I still don't have mine. I'm so jelly.
What?
I know.
She has
I finally
interns.
Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday. It was, I don't know, we had the Debbie come through and hit us pretty hard this week. We have a tree down in the backyard, but it was either yesterday or Wednesday that I got the email that finally I got a tracking number. So it is on the way. It is just not here yet.
She had an intern working on it, and I think what happened with mine is like I ended up with two coffins that were actually mine already that got sent back to me. And then
That's funny.
And then I ended up with 63 or something like that, or 68 of them. And so she has to send me more because whoever was working on the project
Was
messed
new.
up. Yeah. Annette,
I think you have the sound figured out because you're not muted. So feel free to hop in at any point.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You can introduce yourself. How about you start with that? Because we've all been doing this a minute. So you introduce yourself. Let's hear more about you.
Well, I just want to say, Stephanie, I'm so glad that you're back. I'm super excited. I purchased stuff from you when you had your online store, and I have it all set aside. I'm preparing to do a Dresden quilt. And I have a ton of your fabric in my tote ready for that.
That's exciting.
Super excited about that. And I saw you on the Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery quilt when you did your interview.
Yeah,
I was like,
there's going to be another one
I
coming.
didn't see that.
Go girl. Yeah, I was happy for you. So I am
that
a new ambassador.
Like a live thing on Instagram. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because they always seem to have this really hard echo, and it was hard, but I felt like you got it worked out, but some of the other ambassadors did not.
Well, I think either the month before you or the month after you, they had Jemima from Tied with a Ribbon. And I've done pattern tests for her, and it was like, where are all these people coming out of the woodworks for this? And I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, where are my friends? Why aren't they telling me about Cotton Cuts? What is this thing?
I just heard about it, and we kind of hooked up because we had a similar audience. And so they thought maybe they could get some of the Stashin folks that were mission Stashin to hop over there. That was kind of the plan behind that. And then their marketing person's really nice. Like, we kind of got to know each other a little bit. But
well, I'm brand new, starting my own YouTube channel, and
are you? That's exciting.
I'm doing a little sewing and a few other things, and my channel is a wide gamut of stuff, but quilting is definitely a cornerstone for that. And I am a brand new ambassador with Cotton Cuts.
That's
cool.
Cool.
So this the Wild Wild West puzzle mystery quilt is my first one. So what are you doing, the Wild Wild West, or were you doing the previous one? The tree, was it Tree of Life?
I'm going to do whatever they tell me I'm supposed to be doing, which they haven't officially said yet.
Wait,
she's so well behaved. Listen, I'm going to do whatever
it's coming
they
up
say.
in a couple of months. I don't need to know until I need to know it.
Well, I just uploaded my Clue 1 to my channel, and my colorway is Mystic Cactus. And I was curious, like, I didn't know if you had a colorway for that one yet, or
I don't know. I just know that a month I'm going to have to do something, and it's coming up, but it's not right now. So
she's going to call me. I'll let you know.
Chantel,
what am I supposed to do?
No, Chantel traveled with me, and so she knows how this goes.
She is beautiful at not worrying about something until it's time to worry about it.
It's because I can only hold so much in my brain at one moment, and so I know it's coming. I know it's a couple months away.
She's like, but that's not today's problem.
But today's problem is finishing all my stuff for my book, getting my kids packed into grandma's house, and sewing my
finishing
little
the
heart out
backing to
down
that
here.
quilt or whatever it is you're
Well, that
doing.
part's done. I have 3 backings ready to go. Right now I'm working on binding. I have 3 bindings because I'm stealing fabric from Chantel tomorrow for one of them. And
It's out and
that's pretty
ready.
much what I'm up to right now. So I'm like, it's like I know it's on the docket. I know it's coming, but we're not going to worry about that today. So
See,
I've got an
I love
email.
that about you because I am just like a hamster in the wrong tube, trying to get to the right tube at all times.
That's
I have
funny.
no idea where I am. I have no idea where I'm going or where I've been, but I'm trying to plan it out. I'm
So
gonna get it
Kindred
together.
souls, we are kindred souls.
I'm getting a little better though, because so Ray and John with RG Travels that does all the planning for the cruises. I
He
am
needs to
like
realize what an asset I am. They're never gonna hear this.
they're not, but that's okay. I can send him a clip.
I love those men. They're awesome.
I have to meet with them every 2 weeks. And I feel like I've had to make a little bit of progress every time I meet with them. And so this is very like
It's like on the syllabus.
because it's going to force me to like not procrastinate because I will have to do things in between. So like this last
The little
time
men will be mad.
I researched all the shops in Juneau and in Vancouver, and I also made contact with the Alaska State Museum, which is in Juneau, to see if they have anything textile related going on when we're going to be there. And I'm trying to finagle a behind the scenes tour to look at some of their textile artifacts while we're there. So, like, I've done those things. I feel like that is like, you know, an okay milestone. Next time I have to have actually opened up the suitcase of fabric, which is still immaculately packed, Chantel. I want you to know that. My daughter would like it back, but she can't have it just yet. And
oh my
do
gosh,
that.
all the Liberty of London is still beautifully packed into a perfect case so that you can film unpacking it 3 months later.
I know. I'm a hot mess. It's the kids. I swear.
I swear it's summer.
Goodness. It's the children and all the things I need to do.
Oh,
with the
like
children.
I have anywhere to speak. I'm pretty sure I just unpacked my luggage from Disney last October. So
yeah.
So
well, I still
think, yes, let's hear more about your channel that you're gonna do.
Absolutely.
We kind of hijacked that.
Chantel, I think that's what you're I'm looking at. You're going with Stephanie on her next cruise. Is that
I am not going on the next one so far. I got to go on the last one. Yeah, unless I talk my husband into it. I went on the last one and taught English paper piecing. Which
I mean, you could potentially be my +1 if my husband can't go, but then you also have to be like somewhat responsible for my children.
I mean, I'm plenty responsible for children. I do that, but
I know, but
that's okay. They consider me family at this point.
They do. They think they're.
I don't get to teach on this one, although that was a blast. We went transatlantic, so we got to go all over the place. We were in a boat in a small room together for several days, several weeks.
We traveled for 17 days together, and we're still friends afterwards.
Well, if you're still friends, then you're good to go.
We're still friends, and we also have
we
like
still
called each other
like every other day after that.
It was like within 6 hours or something.
We didn't last very long.
No, it didn't.
No, we're meant to be.
I mean, we have known each other for like 19 years now.
Yes, true.
Are we that old? Are we officially that old?
No, like 8 years. We've known each other for like 8 years. No, it's been like 20 years. Yeah, I am.
I was 19. So yeah. It's
my goodness.
It's been a while.
So Gwendolyn, how did you come into this mix of this trio of people here?
Chantel and I met at QuiltCon and in a class, and we got to be like,
I don't know, we just hit it off.
Yeah, like
really
super
well.
fast and hung out and everything. And so we got to talking about Stephanie and everything. And I was like,
Stephanie was still in her funk stage.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, she should do this and consider doing this. You should talk to her about this. And then she went back home and she talked to Stephanie about it. And Stephanie said, okay, let's do it. So, you know,
That's how we started this, was basically
to get her out
Gwendolyn
of her
was
funk.
worried as a fan. I became a friend of both of them.
Stephanie
and I'm like, we need to do something.
And
Chantel
we
came
did.
back
I feel
and
like
goes,
this
Stephanie, you gotta
has been
gotta do it.
successful healing, you know, to get
It's
you out
been
of your
healing
funk.
for all of us. We've all needed to sit down and sew every
For sure.
weekend, and
And
the people
grow
that
and
come visit, I mean, they feel like they're buddies too, right? Like we're all
For
just
sure.
here to be not quilt police, but you know, quilt friends.
Bounce ideas off each other.
that's right. And just chill and sometimes
hide away from
talk
our
about
children.
Dolls. Sometimes talk about dolls.
Yeah, we talk
sometimes.
about dolls a lot.
We get there sometimes.
I got new dolls.
Other stuff, you know. I can't
By the
wait till
way,
we plan a retreat, you know.
that would be fun. So I want to show you this. Someone who worked at my shop did this for keeping their binding. They just wrap it around their 6.5-inch ruler like that. And then when you're done, you can just slide it off and it's nice and tidy for when you're ready to use it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Isn't that fabulous? And then it's just ready to go. I used to roll mine, but then it would like get all twisty. And this is just a lot easier. It just stays really nice and tight until I'm ready for it. So now this can
Stitch
sit
Supply
away.
Co. I think it's Stitch Supply Co. makes a special like binding holder or whatever, which is really cool. I got one in my advent calendar last year. But I just use like if you go to Joann's or whatever and you go to buy stuff, sometimes they'll have like the extra rolls of whatever they had, the big, you know, like the puff ball ribbon
those just
stuff.
they just get
They
trashed
just
when they're
toss
done.
them. I use those for binding. Anytime I see them there, I'm like, hey, can I have that? That's what I use for binding.
I can confirm they just go in the trash when they're done with it.
There you go.
Okay, I need to show off what I bought for our EPP.
Oh, we actually we messed up again though for Annette. We were talking about her channel.
Yes, and then we got on we get on a lot of tangents here.
Yeah, I mean, you're with friends here, so that's what happens, right? It's survival
I can't
of the
even
fittest.
imagine how that could ever happen. I can't even imagine.
Let's hear more about your new channel.
Well,
and cotton cut stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah, the cotton cuts, I have to say, when I had only put out like 2 or 3 quilting videos. My channel started initially as reading to children, and I still do that, but I do a wide variety of other things. I have I camp, so I'm starting that arm to my channel. The reading to children,
we need all of these in one
exercising.
video. I want to see, you know, the camping trip where you read to children and get some quilting in, and
like
Yeah,
read quilting.
that-
They have some really great quilting and sewing books for children.
Yeah, I have
wanna
I
see
have
it
a
all.
number of books on there that I've read to children, a series and 2 series actually. And then I have the camping arm, I have exercising and taking care of your health, and cooking, and then quilting. And so it's
an
I don't
everything
sit
channel.
yeah,
That's
I don't
amazing.
sit still for very long. Yeah. But the
Me
cotton
either.
cuts, I was so thrilled because it came to be because I'd only put out a couple of quilting videos, and they reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in being an ambassador. I thought I was going to cry. I was so excited. It was so
I
thrilling.
would too.
I thought, oh my gosh, Cotton Cuts wants me to be an ambassador.
What
That's
a compliment,
exciting.
right? What a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. And
the first time I got recognized by somebody for being on Instagram or these videos or whatever, was like, wait, me? What?
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, and I was just
behind me.
Yeah, I was just a girl in a cell phone. You know what I mean? At that time, that's all I am, is a girl in a cell phone and a laptop. You know, there's nothing
needs to be
special
the channel
happening over
name.
here.
Girl and a cell phone.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah,
I like
but I had been following several content creators, of course, Fat Quarter Shop, of course, Missouri Star, and I was following
the big wigs,
Stephanie,
yeah.
and I have started based on Stephanie's video on how she was organizing her fabrics and her
They are still organized.
all of her smaller pieces of fabric. That's kind of what I've been doing. And so that was really helpful. And so I don't know what else. I don't
Well,
know what
that's
else.
exciting.
Are you like full on retired, or do you work full time and do your YouTube channel?
I work full time and do my YouTube channel. I have a full-time position. I do administrative work, office administrative work. And so I have that. And then when I have time, I squeeze in YouTube.
So, how did you come with Grandma D? Is that because your grandma?
Yes, I have
Cool.
5 amazing granddaughters.
Very cool.
Yeah, my
A lot of
son
granddaughters?
is a father
Lots
of
of
4
room for
girls.
dolls.
Yeah.
You guys.
So, and my grandchildren, because they have so many grandmas in their life, and my last name starts with a D, they started calling me Grandma D, and that just stuck. And then my second oldest granddaughter, Michelle, when I was thinking about my YouTube channel, she said, "Well, Grandma, it's got to be Grandma D." So I have an Etsy store, a YouTube channel, and anything else that comes along is going to be Grandma D. So
Very nice. So what do you do in your Etsy store? I'm great at questions, so I'm gonna
Gwendolyn is the best at questions.
She is.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, my Etsy store is I'm destashing things that I'm not using currently, and I have started doing a few craft things and putting them on there. And my mother had made a bunch of Barbie doll clothes for me. My mother, that's where I get my sewing love from, is from my mother.
I never understood how to make those tiny little itty bitty clothes.
Yeah, and I have multiple Barbie doll clothes on there for sale that she made for me as a child.
Now, referring to those, did you make any? That's my first part of that question. Did you make any of the Barbie clothes even after, you were older and stuff and outgrew that? And did she do them by hand or my machine back then?
She did them on a sewing machine, and the machine that I use in several of my videos is a 1970s Kenmore zigzag sewing machine that takes
You
cams.
have the
What kind?
Kenmore. I'm a Kenmore girl.
Yeah, I have a Kenmore upstairs.
And so I sew on that as part of my channel because it's vintage, and I've had many people reach out to me and say, "Oh my gosh, that looks just like a machine my mother used to have." And it was my mom's machine.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
So
those machines don't die. I mean, if they die, you didn't take care of it and you need to work on it. But yeah, they work forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hearing a lot of vintage. So do you like the vintage vibe of sewing and everything more than the modern? I mean, I'm sure you engage in modern, cotton cuts.
I do.
Modern, but the two, do you lean into vintage?
That's true.
Yes, I do. I have a real love for things that are vintage, fabric styles, fabric prints, patterns that take me back to my time as a child. My mother was a garment sewer, not a quilter, but she made a quilt for me when I was a child that has Winnie the Pooh applique on it before she didn't even probably know she was doing applique. Wow. She was just cutting out figures and sewing them on a quilt for me. And that quilt is so special to me. Yeah.
If you want to be fancy, you could say she did broidery purse, which is that is an applique style where you are cutting out the actual picture. And I probably have said it wrong, but it was very popular back when fabric was like ridiculously expensive. And so they would
Mhm.
often do it out of chintz, I believe, like
Well,
back in
we
colonial
used to
times.
go to a store down by where I lived. It was called Minnesota Fabrics. And there was no Joann's where I lived back then. It was Minnesota Fabrics. And I don't even know if those stores are still around anymore. But it was like a mega Joann's.
Wow.
And that's where we bought all our stuff for sewing as a child. I started making garments. I think I made my first garment for myself when I was like 10 years old. I made a terry cloth. Um, it was like a blazer type of thing, but it was made from terry cloth.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I remember like when I was a child, some of the first sewing that I worked on was hand sewing my Barbie clothes, my mom
Mm-hmm.
teaching me. Do you have any
Mm-hmm.
like special memories from your childhood of and that stick with you of you and your mom and your experience with learning from her and her teaching you to sew and
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh.
creating that
All
spark
of
and that
them?
passion within you?
You are the best at questions.
My,
Or something.
I'm sure you've all heard of Smokey and the Bandit. Well, when Smokey and Bandit first came out in the theater, the shirt that Burt Reynolds wore, the red shirt,
Oh yeah.
It was a Western shirt, and it had those snaps that you had to put on.
Yes.
And I'd never done that before. And my mother had the snap
Tool.
putter on her thing, the
The
snap
tool
tool.
thing. Yep.
And I made one of those shirts for myself. And she helped me put the snaps on the shirt. And that's probably one of the things that we did together. But she taught me everything I know. And her first sewing machine was a Singer. And she used that until she got the Kenmore. Then I got the Singer. I wore that out. Then when she passed away, I brought the Kenmore home. So
now, is that the only machine that you have, or do you collect other vintage machines, or do you just really just stick with that one?
Well, I have the Kenmore, and then I have in let's see, it was 2018 before the pandemic. Of course, we measure everything by the pandemic.
No,
Isn't that true?
Or after.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I purchased a Singer Quantum Stylus 9960. Okay. And I love that machine. It's wonderful. It works wonderful. So I keep that out in one room for quilting and sewing. And then I have the Kenmore in my sewing room that I use. I want to get a feather light for my travel trailer, but that's for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the featherweights and things like that are really pricey. I found a local person that had one that had been her mother's, and really she cared about who was buying it, not
what she was going to get for it.
I mean, she got it was fair for me. It was a good price, but she cared about who it was going to, and I got a decent deal on that. But
well, they probably want to know it's going to be taken care of.
Yeah,
they want to know it's going to be loved
and taken care of, and they're anything like me, they know that person is watching from up above. Are you taking care of? Did you oil that before you started? I gotta show.
There are people out there that are sentimental. When you've used something like that your whole life. Oh, Chantel, that is fantastic. Is that some of the ones that you just received?
Some of them are, and some of them, let's see, these two I just received.
Okay.
And the others are, spoiler.
Are you going to do all your centers orange? Or are you going to?
No, I'm mixing them up. So I'm kind of doing this solid-ish.
Okay.
For all my centers, because there's so many patterns going on in all of these.
I know. So that's what I was concerned about.
I was just pulling purple with the green.
Oh,
I think that's very Halloween. So, and it's not me without some neon.
I guess I better get mine in the mail to you.
Well, I have a whole pile for you, but I'm not done cutting. I have so much Halloween fabric. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life.
You're gonna have to integrate like another 200 into your mix.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
look at that
fill the
bag.
baggie.
All right, I have questions.
Yes.
So this is a panel that I've hoarded forever. It is a shell rummel, time and tide.
It is a shell rummel.
Yeah, this is going to be the what's going to become that bag, the travel bag. So
that's beautiful.
I have a ton of time and tide that I can go with it. It's all fat quarters. So I was trying to talk myself into her latest one. Let me grab it real quick. That I have enough of to be the lining, but I don't think I can talk myself into it because it's just not the right color. Like there's pink in it.
It's not
like
right.
That's just not
you
right.
You can tell it even with not a clear image that the colors are off a bit.
So I'm thinking I have a ton of solids. So I'm thinking solid for my lining. Do you think that that's like a cop out, or do you think I can like go with it and call
what
it
if you took the solid like a step further and did something more like a what is it called, sashiko kind of vibe? Is that
I
what
do
it's
not
called?
have time for sashiko.
Okay,
this has got to be quilted by machine.
Okay,
but you won't see it from the outside at all.
Okay,
it's just going to be the lining.
What if it wasn't like
go for a cream.
sashiko, but I know like there's like the fabrics that lean into that. What if you like did one of those type of things that's a vibe that it kind of gives that vibe? For whatever reason, when I look at that, it really
I don't
feel like
have
it would really
anything like that. And it's got to be from Stash because I literally need to film with this.
I can guarantee you
probably Monday.
To go with
yeah, you're on a deadline.
Probably Monday. I mean, I have so much time and tide to go with this. So much. I have like the entire back quarter bundle. Like I was thinking of this probably for my pockets because it's really gonna like pull on the deep.
Yeah, that's gorgeous with it.
But
yeah. Do you have a darker solid to go on the inside? And then use those for the pockets.
Are you wanting to go dark on the inside, or are you wanting to
No, I like to have a light lining because I can see stuff. What do I got?
I got a little bit of cream Liberty.
I
have lots of cream. There's no problem with that.
Yeah,
what about something that's like a lighter blue?
Let's see. This is not. I don't think that's definitely not the right blue.
Well, no. But maybe something similar to that.
I have a
because then that would still give the inside light, but then play off the blues.
This was the Tula. That could go.
Oh, that would work. That would.
It's not putty. Work. It's I forget what Tula's is, but it's like a seafoam.
Well, aren't they both from Spirit?
It's kind of looking a little green.
So they're going to be using very similar.
It is more green. I know I have a crap little winter white, which always goes with shell.
Go back to that blue one that you dismissed real quick. You were off screen. I didn't get to see it good with it.
It doesn't look good.
You don't like it? Okay.
No.
If you don't like it, then don't even worry.
It's no good. What do I got?
I mean, I have a whole bolt of something.
This is my entire stash of winter white, which always goes well with shell.
Confetti cloud.
So there's this one.
That confetti cloud is beautiful. I use that for my Riley Blake 2022 mystery block of the month. That is beautiful.
You'll see this tomorrow, Steph. This is a really good. It's like that.
It's not too bright. It's not too muted. It's a beautiful color.
So you're right below her on my screen. I know up there on YouTube, you're side to side, but if you put that right above your head and Stephanie holds that up.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I gotta see it in person.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you right now that is not gonna work for me. I'm trying to look because I know I have coordinates for shell in here somewhere.
Bring it with tomorrow, though. I might.
All the solids are coming out at the moment.
we got into the
all but the pinks.
Wait, there's got to be something
all but the
in
pinks. Well, you got to bring the purples tomorrow, anyway, since I'm not a purple person. Speaking of purple,
that's really dark.
Red, which I also don't own.
And you're wanting to lean into the blues or the creams that are in it. You're not wanting
I
to
would
do.
love to lean into the blues.
Okay.
These are all more
That's the
teal.
shell point.
Mhm.
Is the blue.
Let's see
She
that
does the-
blue. Because it's like a dusky.
Yeah.
I have to say,
She does a
Stephanie, with
beautiful,
all
like-
that fabric you've got behind you, you've
Almost
got
like
to have something there that will.
slate
Well,
under
these are
tones.
finished quilts. But I do have some light grays that definitely would work.
I lost my needle, you guys. Where did I put it? Maybe I put it in my pincushion. I did.
That
I
one
don't
does
know.
not read light to me. I think it
It
looks
definitely
good
does
with
not.
it, but if
I
you want
think
to
it
go
is-
light, that's not the one.
I think it is a shell coordinate. Because I know I got quite a few.
Yeah, because it looks nice with it. It's just you had said you wanted to go light, and that's definitely not light.
I feel like that's
This is
not
more
the
medium.
right one either. I feel like now that you said light, I'm kind of leaning into that now too.
That gray is really beautiful.
It
Yeah.
is
The gray
beautiful.
is really nice.
You know what? I'm just gonna go get out my
Just
putty.
put the bin in the car. See you tomorrow.
No, I want to make a decision tonight.
No, I'm
Because-
doing this.
I
Ooh, I
realized.
like
I'm
that.
ready for the decision.
I like
Do we like
that.
this one?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I
that
do
Let
one
me
too.
a lot.
get. I don't know
Yeah.
that was enough. For all
That's
the things.
like that's a light gray. That's really
Yeah.
beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What are you?
I
You're
like
putty,
the color
I
of your chair for it. Does that count?
think. I know, right? I don't think I can use that in the bag.
Start ripping it apart.
Just rip
because
off that
it's perfect
chair.
color.
What do we
I
The
like
think?
that
leather-
one as
Too
well.
bright? Too bright?
No, I don't think it's too bright. I
Put
like
it
that
next
with
to
it.
the kind of
Okay.
white towards the bottom.
You know, Annette doesn't like that.
I agree with you, Gwendolyn. I think that's
Oh.
really beautiful.
Oh, you
I
do
think
like
it's good because
Okay.
it's more gray than that, but
yeah.
it
It's more
matches the
gray than
middle.
that, but it looks really
Oh.
nice.
I'm
with
not
blue.
worried about it. I'm worried about because it's
Mhm.
definitely there's a fair amount of brown in here. And I'm worried if
Mhm.
that has enough
I think
like
that
duskiness in it.
it's hard to say on the camera too.
Can you turn the back so that we can see the cream with the?
You have your
The-
filming lights on. We might be able to see the colors a little better with the
I mean,
I like that one or
That's
the
I like the
gray
gray with-
before.
like a
like
I
it
can't
looks
tell what I'm pointing at, but
up here, it's great.
yes.
Yeah, it's great.
And really, this will be like on the bottom. Great spot
Yeah.
for white, let me tell you, on the bottom of the bag, but we're not
Great
going to talk
spot.
about that.
Fun.
What do we have here?
Alright.
Oh, this is a hand dye. We're not going to use that. Or maybe we will.
She's gonna have everything pulled out of her stash before this is
Hopefully
over.
You're gonna
not.
have my level of mess.
I
For
mean,
just-
for one fabric. I feel like this though it could be it. It's not light, but I feel like it has like that
if it
brown
reads
tint
well
to
to
it.
you, that's what matters. Because it's hard to tell on a camera, anyways, with color and
Well, but if you wanted light,
I did want
if
light.
you wanted something lighter, you might want to go with the lighter gray.
what was the first one
un-
again?
Unless having something really light is not
I don't like that one.
as important to you as you thought it was. I thought the lighter gray looked better.
This is the winter white, which always goes well with shell.
I really kind of like that now that I'm
Now that we've seen all the others.
yes, now that I've seen all the others, I kind of like that one.
All right, we're doing
Yeah,
winter
that's
white
fine.
because I have 5 yards of it. So
There we go.
let's do that.
It
All right,
matches
guys,
the
I'm
chair.
partial to the gray, but that's okay.
I know.
That's
What do
okay.
I have? I got to put things away now.
Okay, so are you done with that?
I am, yes.
Okay,
Not
Decision has been made.
I want to show something I bought for the EPP this week. Not that I needed a new needle minder, but who can have too many needle minders to dress up your bag?
I don't understand how to use a needle minder. Is that terrible? But I really don't.
What? It's just two magnets that you just put together.
I know, but
You-
what do you do with it?
You clip it
like-
on your shirt and then you can put your needle there when in between.
Yeah. So like,
I didn't know
But it-
that. I thought it was for like trying to keep the things together.
No.
no.
And then what I do is
No.
when I put it back
then you
in
I don't
my
use
needle-
them, so really I
and
don't.
when I
your needle magnets right to it.
yeah,
See,
and then when I
it's-
put it like in my like tote in my container, I also stick the needle of that so it's not rolling around all over.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have one right here. It was a gift.
I keep them. Yeah,
you gotta do
keep
it.
them in my bags, every single
right.
hand stitching bag, every bag, even when I'm binding, I keep it on.
See, I love my little pin cushion.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Well, that's cute too.
I know.
But I bought some new needle minders this week.
Oh my goodness, is that beautiful?
That is gorgeous.
Oh my
And
gosh.
look how big it is. It's like 2 inches big.
I guess I always get concerned about like even the needle, like the magnet needle dishes with my little ones around, particularly Penny, who's new, like getting a hand on that or in that. This feels safer.
That is beautiful.
I got this one, which is flamingos.
Okay, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this really cool one. This is the one I actually bought for the EPP because it's moth.
Okay, I love that one.
Oh,
love it.
That is beautiful.
And then my last one that I got was this gorgeous cat because everyone knows I'm a cat lady.
Oh, that is fun.
Let me guess. You bought the Tula Pink Tabby Road fabric.
Oh, of course. But
Of course you did.
I love Tula Pink anyway, so I get all of her lines.
Who didn't buy the Tabby Road?
These were on Amazon for anybody who's interested, and they were all like less than $10 each. So they were a good price. And I mean, this is the biggest one, with this one being slightly smaller. And then the flamingos slightly smaller. And then the moth was the smallest, but still really big. Sometimes you buy stuff from Amazon and, you know, they distort the pictures and make them look bigger than what they are. And it wasn't. So I thought that they were super cute and I loved them. So I wanted to share. I did not know you didn't use them, Chantel.
I didn't honestly figure out how to use them. But then again, I don't like using the magnet thing. It's just because Penny is so handy right now. Her hands are in everything. And the idea of her like squishing into this and the needle goes into this just feels, well, plus I lose everything. We all know this.
Well, I keep one on every sewing machine I have because it
that's a good idea.
It also magnetizes pins, right? So I will pull out my pins and then quickly stick them over there rather than toss them on the desk or on the bed of the machine.
Lie. My mind is kind of blown right now. I did not know this was thing. You taught me something about English paper piecing. Congratulations.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be service. Which is hard to do because you are English paper piecing queen.
This is what I do.
This is payback for everything you've taught me, right?
There we go.
I have to admire you ladies because I do not EPP. I started doing the Queen of Diamonds.
Which
EPP.
Gwendolyn and I need to start.
I got to block 6 and I thought I'm done here. So I'm sewing the rest of the blocks together by machine and I'm in like 2 weeks, I'm up to month 9. So
you know, they have a Facebook group of, okay. I was going to say, you can be part of the Facebook group. That's the machine sewing for the Queen of Diamonds.
I have not signed up for that, but, I was on the one for the hand quilting. I do like to do embroidery, and cross stitch, but EPP is not my jam.
The Facebook group.
I got kicked out in knitting. I was supposed to help teach summer camp for these kids, and I literally got given to a different area of the camp. It was a donation because I was so bad at it. Like all I do is handiwork, and I got kicked out in knitting. They didn't even kick the children out.
Oh, we can hear Theron.
I know.
Aww.
He's playing peekaboo with Pawpaw.
All right. I have one more option for you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
This is Shock Cotton from Andover.
Oh.
I like it.
I like that one too.
I do too.
I have a ton. So I feel like this could be like the inside. but also
Yeah.
all my side pockets and my straps because it's a little bit more substantial.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
then like the focus will just be on this. There won't be any other like
That's
shenanigans to take your attention away from it.
That's what I was gonna say. The thing is I know that y'all like the lights, and I am not a white cream girl, right? I lean into the colors or to the blacks and grays, and I do like that one. I
Well,
like
and
it.
it's got like dimension and depth because
Yes,
it's like a
texture.
true woven. It's not like a printed
I like
fabric.
that because it is a true woven. It looks
Yeah. Like
the
you
And I
can
like
see
textural nature of
on the
it is
back.
more for a bag.
I like
kinda.
it because it really like highlights your feature fabric. It makes that stand
Yeah.
out, and that becomes, you know, what's impressive.
Because I need extra fabric obviously for the lining, but my thought is that I need something for my straps, and then I also need side pockets, and then I want to have like a luggage strap so it can slide over your like carry-on, your rollerboard.
Oh, I love that. We learned our lesson about that when we
Oh
traveled.
my God, that was awful. I
Oh,
bought
word.
myself a cheap backpack when I went to Chicago last with the kids, and it fits my laptop, and I'm like, this is now my travel. I wanted it to me, but my budget said Target, and so it is what it is.
Wanted
Okay,
it
so
to me, but my budget's in Target.
would you have to do all of those in the woven, or could you maybe choose some of them with the light cream that you like and some elements with the gray woven?
I can
Maybe the
always do
inside
the
is
light cream for the lining. Like that's not a big deal.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
And then this could just be exterior.
yeah, I
Okay.
like that.
Decision made. I can now
Done.
start cutting things. Okay.
What's your track record of cutting
Always feels
things?
good when you come to a final decision for
This
something.
is slightly different because I literally just need to cut like some backing fabric and
Hello there, Missy.
batting. I don't think I'm going to mess that up too badly. I don't have to think too hard. But yeah, I like this. And I personally know that Shell really loves it when you mix like textural fibers with her quilting fabric because she is
They're meant to be.
she's in the InDesign world. Like that is what that's her primary bread and butter. So like that's her jam. So,
good.
so
So that makes
she
happy.
personally will
linen.
love this. Yeah. So that'll be good.
It's so
Okay.
cool that you know those details.
Oh, Shell? Yeah, we've collaborated like a million times. Like I'm doing her marketing right now. So, but yeah, I've made something out of every collection she's done, but two, and this will be knock out one of them that I haven't done something with. So,
Okay, so once you get everything gathered for the book and that's all submitted, is it going to be quilt along time?
I want to quilt along.
Yes.
I know. We've been
We're
talking about
aching
quilt
for
along.
it. We're
So-
itching for the quilt along.
Really, I need like a day of maybe 2 days of filming, and I can do a quilt. That's all I have to do is 2 days of filming. I would be good to go. Trying to
So
think.
can we make you commit to a deadline like, okay, October?
January.
January is a great time to start a quilt along.
What?
Everybody needs to start a January quilt along, and I
Because like
It's
up
so
until
long away.
then,
So far
I know,
away.
but up until then you're working on holiday stuff, right?
All right.
holidays get crazy.
Yeah. And we
And
got these hexies.
I may or may not have signed Angela and I up to make a trash design contest.
Oh,
You gotta
We're
tell
gonna-
them about that project. That's really cool.
It's called
Okay.
Garbage. It's Garbage Glam. You're supposed to make some sort of couture runway outfit out of recycled materials. So I currently have a bin. Angela wants to be the Queen of Hearts from the new Descendants movie that just came out.
Oh.
And it's this like it's got this like massive like wing type thing that's in the shape of a heart that comes out and is like very stiff. And then there's this like jacket and like a really like done up like not corseted top. I'm not going to corset my 10-year-old, but a very snug top that goes underneath it. And then it's this voluptuous skirt that has like
Almost like a
It's not
cupcake
tulle,
skirt.
but it looks like a giant like cupcake thing. And I've actually found 90 or 80% of the costume, 80 or 90% has to be recycled materials, and then the rest can be homemade. So we found but it has all these like hearts like sewn into it with like it looks like a raised
It's
tulle.
gonna be really cool.
So I have a bin in my kitchen right now where we are collecting every red thing. Like I've started buying chips based on the color of the bag, and we are going
I
to
gotta
do a
change my
fabric.
beverage
We're going to
from blue to red.
do a fabric or a fabric weave, a plastic weave of all of our red packaging to create the jacket that's going to go around it. And this we're going to get some prom dresses from Goodwill to form like the fabric portions that we need. And the like rough type thing that's coming around here is probably going to have like a Coke like can
That's a good point.
like base and then have fabric over it because it needs to be really stiff. And then the crinoline is going to be made from plastic bags, like grocery bags. And so
Wow, where are
she's
you
gonna get
find red grocery bags?
well, it's gonna be
Well, it's underneath.
It's all
Oh,
underneath.
okay.
So we just
That's
need it
what
to
I
be
was
poofy.
wondering. Like, where are
Yeah.
you going to get red grocery bags?
Like a
No,
dime.
yeah.
Target used to have red bags, but
It
You know
did,
what
not
you
anymore.
could do? You
So, but
could
I'm just
now-
gonna sew up layers and layers of these plastic bags to create the crinoline, and then that'll be like the foundation for the garment. We did find an actual like cage, like hoop cage that she could wear, to
When does this
give it
start?
that. It has to be, I need to send in a photo. It doesn't need to be done, on September 30th. So
You know
I
what you
told her
could
we
do?
were not going to start till my book was done, is what I told her.
Rose City Originals, how he does like the community quilt. You could
Yeah.
do a community and have the community send you red
They're
things.
trash. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that
I
would
think-
be so fun.
I think I'm gonna have plenty, actually.
I'm sure
but-
you will, but how fun would it be to get cool, unusual things? I can
I
think of
know.
some very unusual things that I could send you. Just, knickknacks around,
Yeah.
to upcycle in my
I
Well,
can
house.
send you an entire basement of junk.
I
It's here.
I could just
Here
get
for
your
you.
thing of junk, tomorrow. It'll be
You
fine.
you could limit it to, it has to be in an envelope. Can't be bigger than 5x7 in an envelope, and just send, a swatch of something,
I'm
and
trying to find this so you guys can see like where the inspiration for the jacket came
I
from.
watched the video. It's good.
because maybe somebody has like buttons or zippers
I got
or
buttons.
red ties
Oh, yeah, we have that.
or ribbon, or just a fantastical embellishment stuff that they're
Okay.
not using, that's hanging out.
So this is where I got the inspiration for the jacket. I have 2 bags like this. This is a bag designer that
Oh,
makes
cool.
their bags out of candy wrappers. And sometimes they're just tiny little clutches, and sometimes they're giant bags. And I buy them secondhand on ThreadUp.
I
And
remember years ago,
they're so
Ripley's,
fun.
believe it or not, had like
I used to
the
make
candy
them.
wrappers and gum wrappers and stuff like that they would make these big
yeah,
wall
I make
murals out
bracelets
of.
and stuff.
Yeah. But they had them on display at Ripley's, believe it or not, when I was young, and we would go there.
yeah.
That was
So we're
always
gonna
Oh my
interesting.
gosh. Ripley's,
gonna be
believe
doing
it or
so much
not,
fun
I think
stuff.
you're dating yourself.
Oh no! Those are still a thing.
They're
somehow.
still there. Yeah, Dollywood has
Somehow.
them. They're out here on the East Coast because I'm in North Carolina. Yeah.
I mean, if you need to be stuck into some sort of place that you need something to do on a rainy day, a Ripley's is there.
Yeah.
Like if you're vacationing in Branson, there's a Ripley's. Like
Myrtle
they're there for you.
Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the vacation spots. And they're really fun to walk through. But yeah, that's a good idea. I like that
Yeah.
with the candy wrappers. I like a lot of the
So
things
that'll
you
be
can
fun.
do.
And she's slim. She's so slim.
Yeah.
She finally went up
Wait,
to
is this
21
before
inch
Halloween
waist.
or after?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
before.
this gonna be her Halloween costume?
Because I can
I
get you
told
some
her it needed to be for Halloween. And she told me that she would be too embarrassed to wear it in public, but she's very excited to like make this gown. And I saw what happened last year and what won, and I'm like, I'm gonna knock this out of the damn park.
Oh,
There's
cool.
like, there's no way that
No way.
So what is the prize if you win?
it's a $500 prize if we win.
What?
And I'm gonna let her have it if we get it. It'll be cool.
She's gonna be like wanting to go to All American. Like, Mom, we're going on vacation.
We're going to American Girl.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so it should be fun. It'll be a fun experience, and we're both quite excited about it. So it'll be fun.
Oh, that's exciting.
So
Okay,
that's what I'm doing right after I finish this book.
So we
is I'm
can
doing
nail
that.
down January. Can we put that on our calendars? Can we at least pencil
Yes,
it in our calendar?
fine. I will do a sew along with the quilting thing in January.
Yay!
We'll do Vertex. I need to go through my stash though. I want to do different fabrics than I did for the original.
Okay, so you're for sure gonna do Vertex.
Yeah. Because then we
100%.
can do like 5 different types of triangles and
It's a good learner for sure.
Okay.
yeah. And it's not that much to do like with each individual one. Like
Do
there's
you have
a
that
smaller
out
amount.
already?
You could do it in like 3
No.
weeks, probably
I
5
didn't
weeks.
think you had released that already.
I mean, it exists.
Right.
What?
The pattern's all written and everything. But
She just
One,
hasn't
it's this
released it
one,
yet. Right, I remember. Because you guys did that on the cruise, right?
yeah,
the dark blue one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
So,
really wants
I'm-
me to be in the picture, so sorry.
But since I have till January, that means I have 4 months to be able to pick my fabrics.
It's
starting
fat
your
eights. You
pool
need
now.
like 10 fat eights. So
Which,
you're fine.
but still, I'm gonna need that amount
Yeah.
of time. You know, I've got Granberry Bee #2 coming on Tuesday, and
Oh,
that's
for
gonna be
sure.
a handful. You know,
You're gonna be busy.
woohoo, busy.
Ugh. Oh,
So,
apparently-
I just want to say I'm on the East Coast and it's almost 12:30 here. I don't know where you
feel
guys are.
free to
We're-
hang
But
out.
Yeah, I'm on
wanted
the East
to
Coast.
I wanted to show Chantel a little bit of this quilt that my mother made for me. I dug
Oh,
it out.
yeah.
It was in the closet. This is the one when she was doing applique before she ever knew she was doing it. Let me see if I can.
Oh gosh, little
You
Woody
see
the Pooh
Pooh.
in there. I see it.
Oh,
Look at that.
that's so cute.
There's Winnie.
Oh my gosh,
the
it's all
Pooh.
yarn tied.
And no, well, there's yarn ties here, but they're not holding the quilt together. And there's a piglet.
Oh my gosh, look
That's
at
so
that.
cute.
And let's see, what else
That
did she
looks
do?
in great
think-
condition for
Yeah, I
as
was gonna
old
say
as it
for
is.
being something you had as a kid.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
exceptional
my
shape.
mom made this for me when I was like 10 years old. There's a good Winnie with holding a balloon.
Oh,
Oh,
And so it's all just big, like I want to say they're probably like 8x8 squares. And it's
looks-
all
she wasn't a quilter. She was a sewist, but
she
not
was
a
a
quilter.
sewist, and she was a garment sewer, and she made this for me. And
And it looks like she upcycled some of the garments too. In the
yeah, she
fabric.
might have this. This is all solid one solid fabric on the back, and I'm looking at the binding, and I'm like, this is not like binding like we do now, you know.
Is it a fold over binding?
Well, maybe, yeah,
It's more of like a blanket type binding.
yeah. It's and
That's
it's
it
not
from the
how my
like,
binding.
it's wider here than it is here. This is probably between 1/4 and 1/2 inch, and this is probably 1 inch down
What
the
does it
side.
look like on the front?
That's how I
And-
bound
but
my first
it's-
quilt when I didn't know any better.
I mean, bless her heart. She
Oh,
cut all
absolutely.
these little piglets and Winnie the Poohs out by hand. Like it's got some major problems here. You know, I have to
Everybody's
totally
first
replace
quilt
it
has
where
major
it
problems.
completely
Yeah,
fell
but
apart.
Who's like, we got a problem here, and Piglet's like, oh shoot, Winnie.
But
But you know
know,
what? That could be a video you could make and repair that section of the quilt and use it on your
Yeah.
channel as a video. There you go.
yeah,
And then you
Yeah,
can read to
you know,
somebody.
it's-
You should sleep with that tonight. Give it a good cuddle.
It's so special
It doesn't
to
smell
me.
like
And
closet sometimes.
yeah, yeah. Well, I have really enjoyed spending time with you ladies
Absolutely.
tonight.
Come back.
And
Well, come on back. We're here every Friday.
Well, last Friday I had to peace out. I was sick. I got
We all
sick,
have our
sick,
moments.
So I hope you guys had.
I was sick the
without
week
me.
before, so it's all good. We all have our moments.
Oh my gosh.
all right. Well, I'm gonna go and as I said, Stephanie, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. There will be
And
more. I need to
it's nice.
just buckle down and film something.
It was
is what
nice
I
meeting
need
you,
to do.
Annette.
Nice to meet
It was
you.
very nice
Grandma
meeting
G.
you, Gwendolyn. Very
Yes.
nice meeting you, Chantal. I appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful evening.
You
All
too.
right, you too.
Not much left
Good
of
night.
it. Huh? Good
No,
morning.
not too
at
much.
this point.
Okay, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, that was adorable. That was so cute.
Karen.
He is nonstop talk now. It's hard to believe that just 3 months ago he wasn't
He was
communicating.
not a talker before, and now look at. I told you, didn't I tell you?
I mean, it just like it was like boom. His speech
And that you need
therapist-
me to remove you.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay.
Thanks.
No,
There you go.
his speech therapist when he went today, she was like, I cannot believe the improvement that he has made. You know, she was really impressed. So
It is
it's
like night and
exciting.
day. It is incredible.
And he starts early in 2 weeks, so that's even going to be more exciting.
That's how JD was. I mean, he was not talking. We were so freaking worried. There was a million things, and all of a sudden, he just starts like going off on everything. He had something to say about everything. It doesn't mean you understood it all, but like, whoa,
Right.
kid.
Yeah, he
and
doesn't.
then you're like, you have context. You understand more than just this is a word that you're repeating. Like you're getting it. It's in
it's been neat to see that with him. You know, he still can't like when we're trying to, you know, do questions where he like ask him a question for small answers. Like we're beginning with yes or no things. Like, you know, do you want more milk or do you want this cookie or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And he's still not getting that. He's still not getting yes or no, but that's where the speech therapist says, you know, we're starting with that. So once we can get him to do that, and then also to answer what is your name, and for him to say Theron, like he will say Papa, he will say Nana, he will say Mama,
but he doesn't understand me, Theron, you.
Right. Well, I tell him, I say, you're Theron, and he'll point to himself and he'll go Theron. But if I say, who are you? He doesn't understand that. Or who am I? He doesn't understand, but he understands the command. Like, go to Papa or here.
We had a game. How did that go? There was a song or whatever. We had a game that we would sit in a group as a family and do like, and it would be like, it'll come to me later. I know it.
Yeah,
it was something where somebody would ask, and then who are you? And you'd be like, I am Grandma. My name's Grandma. I am me, and you are you. Who are you? Or something like that. And then you would point to somebody, and they'd be like, I am so-and-so. And you'd be like, you are so-and-so. They'd be like, I am so-and-so. Who are you? I am me. And who, you know what I mean? Whatever it was something like that.
I think Rachel that does the sign time, I think she has something similar to that.
Baby signing time?
Yeah.
Baby, baby, baby signing time.
Yes, we do a lot of Rachel with signing time. And he really likes her. But he has just recently gotten into Blue's Clues and is loving Blue's Clues. And that makes Nana very happy because somehow, not that I have anything against Mickey, because I love all things Disney, of course. Most
that show is overwhelming. Mickey's Clubhouse
is
oh my gosh,
very loud. It is very active. It is very stimulating. And
it's not the greatest for a child on the spectrum either.
For an autistic
you're gonna
toddler,
get your baby elephant out. I'm gonna use my baby elephant to blow up this balloon. That's a great idea. Let me go get my baby elephant.
I don't know how. I think it was when his parent, his male parent, lost his job a couple months ago before he went in the military. He was at home with him, and somehow Mickey's Playhouse came on, and so now he loves it. He sees it and he loves it and he knows it. But the thing is that he gets overwhelmed. I mean, you know how it is, and stuff, having a special needs child, and he gets overwhelmed, going to the grocery store or going to a restaurant. We have to be careful. And that show just, it elevates him, and he doesn't know how to.
They do get wild, right?
Come down from that, right? And so it's wonderful because it teaches interesting things and fun things and numbers and colors and all that. But it's just too much for Nana, I think. So I've been steering him towards some of the other things.
Like grandma sensory overload from this. We can't do it anymore.
That's funny.
Just maybe a little
grandma problem.
So I've been doing some other things, which he's watched Blue's Clues before, but hasn't engaged in it. And then now I put it on maybe about 2 weeks ago, and he's been watching it every day. I mean, just loving it. And he's starting to go, clue, clue, and repeat, and then Mel. When it comes out, yes,
it never fails.
It makes me want.
I'd like to say that's from watching it with my kid, but I'm pretty sure that's from watching it when I was like a teenager and stuck at home and there was nothing on television.
I cannot relate at all to Blue's Clues. Not one bit.
Sorry, it's getting warm in here.
I know, mine is warm too. We have the AC on, but it's the
I'm wondering if mine's blood sugar. I
feel sometimes I just put on Winnie the Pooh movies just for me. I mean, I love kids show. And then Inside Out, I adore Inside Out. Like, I love it. And I love cartoons. I don't think there's anything wrong with them.
Animation's my happy place.
For sure.
I would have been an animator if I had the ability to draw the amazing things that are in my head. I can mold them in fabric. I can do a lot of things artistic wise, but making 3D
maybe someday you can take those and incorporate them into that realm.
Oh, everything I do is animated. I mean, who works in these colors on a daily, right? Like,
yeah, they're beautiful. It's lovely. It's eye stimulating for sure.
I just love cartoon stuff too. Whether it's adult cartoons or kids cartoons.
I'm trying to think.
I am 100% going to see the Wolverine Deadpool movie.
Oh
yeah.
I'm so excited about it.
I like
partially about
lost topic on sewing. We do this every single time.
We do. I need to see Henry Cavill as Wolverine. That is one of the things I'm very excited about. I have a thing for Henry Cavill, and have since he was in Tudors like forever ago.
Oh yeah, that's where I knew him from too.
Yes.
That show. Look, I'm almost done with this already.
Wait,
really fast.
He was in Tudors? Hold on.
Oh yeah. He was the best friend.
He was still skinny in Tudors.
Okay.
He hadn't bulked up yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you still get to see quite a bit. So there's that.
The Witcher was.
Oh my God. I've not watched a single episode.
We shouldn't talk about that. This is using quilts in appropriate type manner stuff.
I don't know about that.
Thinking about Henry Cavill and The Witcher? Yeah. Okay, sure. Whatever. Purely Witcher his acting talent there.
I like The Witcher.
That is a fun character.
But I literally have not watched a single episode since he left.
Oh.
Well, nor will I.
No, now that after he left, I won't watch it either.
Why? He left?
Well, he was supposed to go back to Superman, and then they made the announcement and everything. And then they said, just hang on a second. We're not going to do that anyway. So then he lost the Superman gig. But they were like deviating significantly from the source material in the show. So, and he's like a true nerd.
Yeah.
Like,
if this
was about video games and Warhammer and building your own computer, he would be right here with us on the show.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
so like that's really
Thursday
like
night.
he can't do it. He can't handle that. So, but then it
Well, I
ended up
appreciate
freeing
that,
him up for other
because
things.
that is an embarrassing thing too, as an actor, to just keep going in something, to keep going in it, even though it's
Yeah.
turned into whatever it's turned into. The last season of Game of Thrones, for example.
Yeah.
It wasn't their fault. But
Are you watching House of Dragons?
I have not, and I'm
I
still
watched
mad at
all
Game
the
of Thrones,
clips.
8 years later.
Yeah.
So
What did you say, Stephanie?
I watch all the clips on the social media, but I have not. I'm not ready to be heard again. I kind of want to let them finish it.
I don't want to be hurt again. It was an abusive relationship, and I'm just not ready.
I'm not.
So it's like different than Game of Thrones. It feels more like it's a little bit more historical, but I like that so much dragons are in it. I do like that. I like it. I love
Dragons
it.
too.
I don't know what social media is saying. I don't know what the people out there are saying, but I know I love it. Every week I look forward to watching it, set aside that time and stuff. And where with Game of Thrones, I didn't do that. I waited till like the end of the season and then binge watched the whole thing at one time. Yeah.
So
Until the last season, we basically did the same thing. So we watched it fall apart.
Yeah.
I want
slowly.
I really want it to finish so that I know if they like stick the landing or not.
Have you read the books?
Not those. I read the Game of Thrones books until I got to the Red Wedding, and I was like, I'm done with this.
That's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Just stop there.
And my husband was really funny because we would watch the show together. And then once the Red Wedding happened, he's like, so what's happening? I'm like, I literally have no idea what's going to happen next. I am just as
you could probably go a little further, but
yeah, I'd had enough.
Had enough.
It
was emotionally damaged.
I couldn't take another character that I love getting killed in a brutal way. I was done.
I have a hard time with that. When I get attached to a character in a series,
it hurts, right?
It does. It's like, family.
Like a friend.
Have any of you guys read The Maid?
No.
I think it's Nina Prose. I read that book as part of a book club. There's a sequel out now that I haven't read yet. I had to look up the ending of the book because I was having physical anxiety symptoms from a fictional character.
Okay, who is it by?
I think it's Nina Prose, The Maid. I'll Google that. Yep, Nina Prose, Prose.
I want to be involved in a couple of book clubs, and I'm in one.
It was so good. So,
what is it about?
There's this. They never specifically say that she's on the spectrum, but she's clearly on the spectrum, and on some way, shape, or form. And so she really likes order. She follows things to a T. She is going to be the best maid ever. Her mom likes skedaddles, and so she's like raised by her grandma, who is a maid at a really upscale hotel. And I think it's New York City. If not, it's like a big city. And so her grandma passes.
What's the year?
What's the year?
What time period is it?
It's like current time period.
Current, okay.
So this is a great one to listen to while you sew, by the way. Get the audiobook because the performance is spectacular. Her grandma passes, and this really from the beginning of the book. And so now she's earning an income on her own. And her biggest issue is, even though she's super bright, she cannot read social cues or facial cues at all. And so she is in a pretty big trouble, but has absolutely no idea that she is in really big trouble because she just takes what everybody says at face value and isn't able to read that this is not, they're saying this, but that's not really what's happening.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like, I don't know, for her to eventually discover that is really interesting. But literally I'm like reading this, it's like a murder mystery. There's a murder and they're trying to figure out like who did it. And well, they're looking around. They're looking around, and there's also some other nefarious things going on in the hotel that not everybody knows about. But she's involved in it, but she doesn't realize that she's involved in it.
Okay.
Like she thinks she's just like cleaning a room. And it's just real, like I literally had to Google the ending because I was like having physical shakes from anxiety about
being scary, but just from
being anxious for her because she was in such deep shit and she had
so
no idea that she was in deep shit. And I'm just like, oh, you poor person. I want you to be okay. So it was crazy.
Murder mystery, it's not gory?
No, not gory at all.
Or it's just
the
like
plot line's more
Holmesy
about her
kind of
being in the plot and not realizing she's in the
Yeah,
plot.
basically. Like she finds a body, and this happens really early on. I'm not ruining anything. She finds a body in a room that she cleans, and it's a frequent guest that has died. And so it's not gory at all. It's like a whodunit with the added level of one of the main characters has no idea how much trouble they're in.
She's one of the characters in the Queen game.
That she's just being completely manipulated by multiple characters. And it's really good.
Okay,
really,
I'm gonna check it out.
But yeah,
too.
I know. We need to have a sewing book club. But yeah, there's a new one it looks like called The Mystery Guest. And then maybe she's got a novella out
Grandma
too.
D read it to us.
Called The Mistletoe Mystery and then The Maid's Secret. So this must be the third one. That one looks like it just came out.
So they're not are they?
It looks like it is.
It is a trilogy?
Yeah. I bought The Mystery Guest, but I bought it on an actual like hardcover, which is hard for me to get through sometimes.
But if this one was the third one and you did it, that means
no, it's the first one.
It's the first one.
Yeah, that's the one I read.
Okay, cool.
That one's really good. I also read, oh gosh.
Yeah, we have an Audible subscription. And
I listen to so much Audible.
So much. My husband has used it and I just recently started using it more this past year. But yeah, with all the traveling I'm going to be doing, driving Zoe to, train her husband's training and stuff that's a lot of road trips. So
yeah,
lots of good listening time. Plus sewing, of course.
Yeah. You got those things. I'm trying to find. There's a new book club by us. It's also a coffee shop. I work there often because sometimes I just need to be around people in order to be productive.
Yep.
She meets random people there that she becomes friends with. It's kind of.
I did, and I was trying to get her to become a fabric designer with Free Spirit. I don't know whatever came of that. I should probably follow up. The heck is this app?
So
here we go. There's another one that I read. I literally went through it. It's like an actual, honest to God, like I read it as an actual book, like a physical page turner, and I got through it in 2 days. Which, if you know my life, you know that is impossible. Very unusual for me. Very unusual. It does too have upcoming meetings. I know I joined one.
One of the books that my husband just read that he insists I need to read. I watched the movie, but it's not called this. The book is called Wool.
Mm-hmm.
WOOL. The show series, is it called Silo, Matt? He's got his headphones in. I think it's called The Silo. I think it's a series. But he said it is very good, and it's kind of post-apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like my jam as well. I read so much. It's so much.
I like post-apocalyptic. I have recently, in recent years, gotten into historical. I do like murder mysteries. I've read those most of my life, probably, and I think that's why other genres are intriguing to me. The within like maybe the last 10 years and stuff, because they're different. It's something different than I've always, read and stuff. But I still do like a good murder mystery and stuff.
Okay.
I feel like I like them all. Love romance.
Here's the one I read from start to finish. This one is slightly creepy. The Starlight House by Alex Harrow. Alex is Alix. It's like this small town that's got some secrets. And at the center of it is this house that everyone thinks is haunted. And it's like a little bit of will they, won't they, plus like murder supernatural mystery, and plus like small town mayhem and secrets and lies. And it's just, I could not put that thing down. I literally read it as an actual book in 2 days.
Oh wow.
And it was so good.
But it wasn't
so good.
Scary. It's all those things, and it wasn't gory or scary. It's just a little.
I mean, there are deaths, but they're not like overly gory. But
see, I have to be able to sleep at night. I already have enough trouble sleeping.
And the spicy wasn't like too spicy, Like I feel like a church lady would be okay with it. But it was good.
I like that descriptor in general.
I'm like, yeah. I feel like I resonate with Chantel. I think I've never liked horror. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do horror or super scary things. I have read and watched things like that. I just don't enjoy it because it literally keeps me up at night. It in my daily life, it like feeds on my anxiety. And
I don't need paranoia as one of my problems too.
That. So I just kind of steer clear of that. But I do love murder mystery. I love suspense.
Yeah, and there's definitely suspense in this one.
Some psychological, thrillers, light, not super, heavy or anything. I do like, but yeah, I tend to go for more upbeat.
I don't like fiction. I'm going to say it. I mean, I guess I do like some fiction, but generally I don't want to. I like nonfiction. I like to learn something. Information hoarding is my specialty. And so, the stories eat on me and I think too hard. And then I fall into all the little wormholes in my brain and I just can't do that.
I used to go like back and forth between like some sort of business book and fiction. Easy. But now my daughter wants a new Audible book every single month. So my 2 credits, I only get one of them. So
yeah. Well, that's why I gave Matt
the library
for years. So this year he's like, well, since you're reading more and you're listening more, I call it reading, even though I'm listening. I still call it reading.
Oh, it is reading.
Yeah,
it is. Reading, you're just taking the information different.
Yeah. Reading with your ears. So this year he's allowed me to use all of our credits to buy all the things. I bought the entire Outlander series, and I haven't even made it.
That's a long one.
It is a long one. I haven't even made it past the first book yet because I've been so engaged in other things. I just haven't taken the time for it. So I really need to take the time. You're whipping that. That is gorgeous.
Tonight.
Oh yeah.
That'll be fun. How are they going to connect?
So it would really help if I had more, but imagine that these are together. There's going to be one of them right there. I see. So this will end up being like this. We'll end up stacking like this and then kind of.
So basically there'll be solid colors and then there'll be the offset of like a 3 color.
There will be an offset one of these guys, basically, that ends up sitting
like 3. Is it 3 or 4? 3,
Yeah.
4 flowers will make up the, because
and it'll end up going rows.
Yeah.
So you'll have a row of this flower, and then you'll have an offset row of the next flowers. I know I had to lay them all out
That'll
to be
be
able
fun.
to figure it out in my brain, but there you go. I'm well on my way.
That's gonna be really cool.
2.
But then again, most people
sew
at my.
You're gonna be done way before me. I'm gonna be working on this project for years, but your experience.
This is what I do. I can
brand new.
It quiets my brain in a way that nothing else has ever been able to. In a wonderful way. Like I can just.
In a healthy way.
Almost unhealthy. That's how good it is.
No. Healthy way.
Almost unhealthy. Healthy, but almost unhealthy. It feels not so good.
Unhealthy in an addictive way.
In the positive addiction way.
Yes.
A habit way.
A habit. A good habit.
I gotta go, guys. I am just swamped. Tired.
It is about that time. And I have to drive children and pack them up tomorrow.
Oh gosh.
Fun
yeah, you
times.
gotta come this way. It's my husband's birthday tomorrow. So
yes.
Yay.
I
will not overstay my welcome. I will pop in and out.
Oh no. I mean, you're always welcome. My dad's coming and everything, and it's gonna be there's gonna be ribs. Can't say no to ribs. He's making meat.
True. What time is the meat?
Noon.
You'll have to tell me this. I don't think I'm gonna make noon.
There's a football game. There's a Bears game. Back to football season.
Oh yes. I dealt with Bears football traffic last week.
Oh.
That was not fun.
That's nothing compared to the real season, man.
We left a museum by bus at about 3:00.
And you went to the museums. There you go. Yeah, you're gonna deal.
We did. And then it wasn't even that one. It was the Museum of Science and Industry, but it had to go. We were going back to downtown where our car was.
Route, even though it's.
And I didn't even take the bus all the way. Eventually, I got fed up with it, and we walked off the bus, took the L the rest of the way. But I did not leave the city until like 6:30, and we left a museum at like 3. It was so bad. It was so bad.
No wonder you gave up. I would have gave up too.
I did. It was not good. But anyway.
All right. Until next week,
we
guys.
have a recommendation of Libby for audiobooks from your library.
I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
I check out books whenever I can, and then if they're really good, I'll always make sure I have them on Audible so I can have them forever.
Yes. Alrighty. See you guys next week.
Cheers.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Guys.
Hopefully I'll be celebrating next week. We'll see.
I'll be celebrating Nana number 2.
Oh yes, that'll be exciting too. Good luck.
All right.
I'll have
so
nothing
exciting.
to celebrate, but I'll be here. Yeah.
Yay.
I'll celebrate Gwendolyn.